Once upon a time, a child decides to feed an owl. One day, this animal's leg is broken. At that moment, the child sees something that he had never noticed before. A speck appeared on the iris of the owl's eyes. The child associates physical ailments with color changes in the iris, and when the date showed the year 1886, that boy founded his own pseudoscience. This is the starting point of Iridology, and that kid is Ignaz von Pexely. Do you have a disease? According to this understanding, this disease immediately manifests itself by making a stain on your iris. According to Pexely, all organs have a connection with the iris of the eye. The right side of the body is connected with the right eye, and the left side with the left eye. Our so-called scientist Pexely has mapped the iris spots caused by diseases with his own experiments. For example, by looking at the relevant part of the iris of a person with bone disease, they had information about the course of the disease. Looks like you don't need a blood test or an X-ray. As can be understood from what we have explained so far, iridology is not much different from palmistry. In one, a person's health status and future events can be understood from his hand, while in the other, the iris in the eye is examined. At that time, it was very popular for people to try to read the internal diseases from some of the features reflected outside the body. An iridologist named Henry Wolff describes this phenomenon of eye reading of internal states in these words. It seems logical that the human body should be equipped with a device to measure one's health at the end of any creative plan or evolutionary process. We'll never get into the creative plan Wolff talks about. Why should we try to look at the iris of the owl? But how plausible is it to say that the evolutionary mechanism had a hand in this? Features acquired in evolution show that living things adapt better to the environment. For example, features such as an antelope running fast, a turtle having a shell that protects it, a tiger having sharp teeth, or birds having different beak shapes depending on the foods they eat, enable these creatures to adapt better to their environment and survive. So, what is the benefit of the iris layer reflecting the inner state of the living thing? In other words, we can very well understand that the owl's leg is broken by looking at the animal's leg. Why should we try to look at the iris of the owl? With this method, you can say that it is possible to understand which of the internal organs of the creature has a problem. Well, nowadays, there are techniques such as ultrasound and X-ray. By the way, the official discovery of the X-ray took place in 1895. In other words, 9-10 years after Pexely, he could meet X-ray, which made a great contribution to the diagnosis of bone fractures. Here are real scientists like Wilhelm Röntgen on one side and Ignaz von Pexely, who claims that his discovery is real on the other side. Iridology is a pseudoscience that should remain in the dusty pages of history. However, today, this pseudoscience application is used by some people for diagnostic purposes in some hospitals. Yes, eyes are very important. From where? Because we need to open our eyes and see the truth. See you in the next video.